This is everything, and I mean everything that you need to know about the number 6 position. Arguably the most important position on the football pitch. We've seen how influential Rodri has been at Man City and now at Spain. Now, if you notice in this number 6 position right here, you are at the top of the diamond from the back. Your goalkeeper, 2 centre backs, and that's you right there. And then there's another diamond. Your number 8, your number 10, then your number 9. You've created another diamond, and now you're at the base of that diamond. So notice how straight away you're linking the build-up phase and the attacking phase. You're literally in the middle. And once again, let's do some more maths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in attack. You are in the middle. In a way, it's a 5-1-5. So it's down to you to be as aware as possible of what's going on this side of the pitch right here. Then what's going on this side of the pitch. Then what's going on there. And it's down to you to make the best decision possible according to the game state. So sometimes that means keeping the ball, passing the ball backwards, and then you pass the ball forwards. Not always getting the ball and going forwards, because you could be losing the ball, and in that moment of the game, you guys need to control the game. Game interpretation, understanding what the game requires, listening to the game. It's your responsibility because you are at the heart, you're the fulcrum of the team. So the centre-back has the ball here. You shuffle here to get the ball. And as you get the ball, maybe your number 10, your number 8 are being closely marked. So instead of forcing it to them into pressure, you say, okay, maybe I play my number 3, my left back. Then I support again. I don't run to the ball, because if I run to the ball, I'm closing down my left back spot. Why am I doing that? Instead, I should move horizontally a couple of yards to be that passing option. So for example, if this is the opposition winger, this is the opposition striker, this is the opposition centre midfielder right here. Instead of me going into this triangle and creating more problems and more chaos, I just stay somewhere around here and just move horizontally to be that option. So the striker could be pressing like this, the centre midfielder could be pressing in a way to block off this number 8. So therefore I'm the only option. Now if I'm here, how can the ball come to me? But if I can just move here, just so this line can be broken. If I were to draw a line, I want to be the option to receive the ball behind this line, because that straight away takes away this player and this player. Now I can turn, now I can play my number 2, my number 10 in the pocket, my number 7, maybe a ball over the top, maybe my number 9 who's made a run. So operating behind the opposition's line is the most important thing. Now your role will vary depending on the opposition's press, but let's say it's a mid press, so they're in a mid block, they'll press on certain triggers. Now your role will vary depending on the opposition's press. If it's a very high press, a very aggressive press, that could mean you drop very deep and split your centre backs to push your fullbacks higher, to force these wingers to come back, to create more space for the build up for you guys. So that number 10, that number 9 could go into a 2, so they go into a 4-4-2, and now straight away notice how you've created a 3v2 situation right here. But if it's a lower press, for example, they're sitting back a bit, this is so important. You stay in behind the opposition's number 9 and you're just floating in accordance to where the ball is. What does that mean? If the ball is with this centre back here, this number 9 is pressing like that. Instead of you running and asking for the ball here or dropping, you operate in behind. So, for example, your number 10, as he gets the ball under pressure, you're the player to receive the ball and then you can play from there. You're the out ball, if that makes sense. By staying in behind the pressure, so in a way following the pressure, you can be the out ball. You can be the player that can alleviate the pressure from your team. And that means you stay fixed in your zone, which is from the width of the 6-yard box all the way like that. This is your zone to dominate. So when the ball is here, can you follow the pressure, not too much, but just a little bit. So then this number 10 is in a situation, because as the ball goes there, if this number 10 really presses the ball, it just requires one touch from your number 10 under pressure to play you the ball and look at the amount of space that you have to play. Now, if this number 10 stays with you and you followed the pressure of the number 9, well, guess what? Your number 10 has so much space that could allow your number 9 to drop in. And if one of these centre backs follow, look at that space in behind. So notice how it's almost like a ripple effect. It starts from you staying fixed in your position, following the ball, but behind the pressure. So once again, if your number 4 passes the ball all the way to the number 5 here, and this striker decides to press like that, your job is once again just to stay behind the pressure. Because the moment you stay behind, this number 10 isn't a problem. Because if this number 10 presses you like that, well, once again, look at the amount of space your number 4 has to drive with the ball and step with the ball. Notice how you haven't touched the ball, but you've made a huge impact. You've actually influenced the play positively without touching the ball. So your positioning, your game understanding, your interpretation of the game is so important. Interpretation of the game state is incredibly important. Sergio Busquets was the greatest at this, personally. The way he read the game, the way he held his position, did not get drawn to the ball, did not get drawn to the pressure. He knew exactly where to stand, and whether that meant it opened up space for himself or for his teammate, the overall team benefited. And that's how important the number 6 is to any team. And for example, if they're pressing in a 2 like this, where they're making sure that you don't get on the ball, your job is to go as high as possible and ask them the question. Force them into that predicament. Do they still follow you like this? Which means the centre-backs have more space to step with the ball. The goalkeeper can eventually become that extra centre-back, which pushes up these players further up the pitch. Or do they eventually have to press the ball, which means that once again, you're that option in between that line. You are behind that line. So all that is required is for this ball to come to you, and then these two players are out of the game. Because you'll take the ball on your back foot and then you're able to play forward. Whether that's a pass out to your number 3 who's dropped into a pocket. Your number 11 has dropped into a pocket, dragging this number 2, which means that your number 3 can become the left winger in possession and bang, a ball over the top into the space. So it all starts from you once again. You may not get assists, you may not get the stats, but if anyone with a footballing brain watches you play like this, they'll understand how important you are to the team. Operating behind the pressure, making sure that you're the option, you're a passing lane, so that when you do get the ball, you've taken 2 or 3 plays out of the game with your first touch. So important. And then on the ball, when you've done all the hard work with your positioning, when you found the right spaces, can you make the best decision 99% of the time? And that means your game understanding, your game interpretation has to be up there. It has to be. Reading the game. Because once again, you're the fulcrum of the team. You're the top of the diamond in build-up. Goalkeeper, 2 centre-backs, and you. Then, you're the bottom of the diamond with your number 8, with your number 10, and your number 9. And then you can link the left back, the right back, the wingers together. It's all down to you. So if the game needs calming down, you can communicate that to your teammates by playing slow passes. So underrated, so overlooked. Playing slow passes to calm the game down. Then that draws the players in, and then bang, you speed it up. So that could mean, as you've got the ball here, you play it to your number 5 slowly, then you offer again, then this number 10 shuffles across, this number 9 shuffles across. Your centre-back plays it to your number 4 because you've dragged these 2 players towards you, which means your centre-back has time. Your centre-back drives with the ball, a bit more pressure like that, then you receive the ball again behind the line, taking the number 9 and number 10 out of the game. Now, that could mean you play it to your number 9 who sets you, and the way you play the pass tells this number 9 whether or not you want it back. So that could mean you play it slowly, then you move here, and straight away your number 9 will know, okay, if I have pressure, I need to set my number 6. Then your number 9 spins away. Maybe your number 8 drops into this pocket, dragging this player out. The number 7 comes to you, then you play the number 3, very relaxed. Then you support underneath, pushing your centre-back deeper, just to have more passing options for your number 3. And then as you get the ball, you have pressure on you, and then it's down to you. Now it's time to speed it up. You find that number 8 in the pocket on the back foot. You find the number 10 in the pocket on the back foot. Then they can turn and play. And that would have to be a fast pass for obvious reasons. You're breaking lines. You're playing passes into pockets where the opposition are. So it has to be quick. It has to be firm. It has to be vertical. And what's stopping you from adding a disguise to it? Look this way as though you're going to switch to your number 2. And then bang into that pocket. Because the moment you turn your body, your hips to face this number 2 here, this number 6 might start to move this way, and that amount of space could allow that pass to happen. But if you just straight away play what you see, you're looking at your number 10, that pass could get cut out like that. But adding a little disguise, a very subtle glance to your number 2 all the way here, maybe your number 2 has come into this pocket, then bang. Or you pretend to play backwards, so you face your goalkeeper, and then as you get the pressure from the number 7, you do a little soul roll this way, and then bang into the pocket. Because those little details make the difference further up the pitch. Because the moment you turn backwards, this number 6 would push up, this number 10 would push up, this number 9 would be ready to press the goalkeeper because that's where the ball is. You just do a little soul roll, this play's momentum is slightly here, then that pass can go into that pocket, into your number 10, then your number 10 can make things happen. Maybe you play bounce passes with your number 10, with your number 8, so your number 10 drops deep, 1, you get the ball back. 2, your number 8 drops deep, your number 10 moves away, midfield rotations, you play the pass, and instead of standing there, you make another angle, you make another option, which means you move slightly away just to get the ball back. Because if you stand here, the proximity is a bit too close, something could happen. When you've played the pass, you move slightly away, and straight away that communicates to your number 8, I want the ball back. Because as you've got the ball, the dynamics of the game have changed. Because now you're in a different position, you're at a different angle. So that could mean now it's time for the number 2 to get involved. And yes, that's a square pass, but it's a deliberate square pass. It's a deliberate sideways pass to draw the players in. So you play that sideways pass, number 11 will step. You get the ball back, number 10 steps. Number 6 might step. Then number 7 drops into a pocket, dragging this number 3, and it's about 1, 2. Then your number 10 can run into that space. Or you use all this attention towards you and you turn away from the pressure and you feed in your number 8 like that. So if you're good on the ball, if you're good in those tight spaces where you can use the opposition's pressure to spin away, to use that as an advantage, I mean, yeah, you would excel as that number 6 in the modern game if your team like to play football from the back, moving through the thirds. So as your number 10 plays the ball to you, you could pretend to play this way. Yeah, no, I'm going to fake and go that way. Straight away, that would have dragged these players across a couple of yards. But that's all you need to be able to be effective to play these passes here. Or maybe, if they're very good at defending, the number 7 drops here. So, okay, you play your centre-back who can step with the ball. And then you have the know-how to realise, okay, now I need to cover my centre-back because my centre-back is now driving with the ball. So, interpretation of the game. I've said it, I think, 10 times in this video, and I'll keep saying it. It's so important because you're linking everything. You're literally in the middle of everything, as I've demonstrated. And reading the game could mean putting your foot on the ball, really slowing the game down, walking with the ball, then speeding up. Then if you see the space, can you drive with the ball? So for example, there'll be moments where you get the ball from your centre-back here, the striker's out of the game, like that. Then you have the space. Can you drive to commit players towards you, and then you play your number 8 in that pocket of space who can drive forward. So don't underestimate the power of driving with the ball. If you see the space, can you attack the space? Can you be aggressive? If the game requires it, which is very important. If the game requires it. If the game requires a bit of relaxation, a bit of calm, then you slow the game down. Maybe you jog with the ball, you walk with the ball, you play it here, then you drop deep, then you get the ball back. And then suddenly, you see the space. Can I break through this line by literally head down, drive with the ball? But that starts with you slowing the game down first, drawing plays towards you, and then bang, you accelerate into that space, and then you just make things happen. Frankie de Jong does this incredibly well. So as that number 6, can you use the fake pass to draw the opposition towards you and then exploit the space by running with the ball? What's stopping you from running with the ball if the space is there? Attack the space. So you pretend to play the pass to your number 3. You're jogging. As you put your foot back with your instep to play the pass, this number 10 is coming towards you. This number 7 is ready to press. You drop the shoulder like that, and then you enter the space by driving with the ball. A very big change of speed from slow to fast to explosive pace. Straight away, this number 10 is out of the game. They're chasing you like that. This number 7 might be chasing you, but you've drawn the opposition towards you. So now it's all about, can you find that pass into your number 11 or into the space for the number 3 to drive into? Frankie de Jong does this so well. He's so good at slowing the game down, then driving with the ball into the space. A very overlooked aspect of a number 6. Being calm, slowing the game down, jogging with the ball, and then, because you know by jogging, by playing slowly, you're drawing players towards you, that means there is space somewhere. So can you use that to your advantage and exploit the space? You pretend to play to your number 4, you pretend to play backwards. Your number 10 is getting ready, your number 9 is getting ready to press the number 4, and then you just use that momentum of the pass to chop the ball this way, which takes this player out of the game, and now you can just play. You can play forward and you can make things happen. And when the opposition have the ball, your aim, your priority should be to mark the opposition number 10. Or if they have 2 strikers, you're the commander of this zone. You're the police officer of this zone. So if the number 10 wants to drop in, that's your player to mark. If the number 5 wants to follow, then you need to cover. So the game understanding, the tactical know-how of where the potential danger is, who do I need to mark in that given moment? Who do I need to cover? If my teammate, for example, if the opposition number 7 has dropped in very deep because the ball is on the near side and the left back has followed all the way there, that could mean you cover that spot and then your number 10 drops in, your number 7 drops in like that. So Once again, if you stay where you are thinking, oh, I'm a CDM, I need to stay here, look at that space, the number 2 could make a run, and then bang, the ball goes over the top. But if you have the understanding to see that, okay, if my players have been dragged out of position, that's my responsibility to cover them accordingly, or to rearrange it myself. Maybe my number 5 becomes the left back, and I become the centre back. No problem. You're the conductor. Once again, you're in the middle of everything. This needs to be tuned in at all times. The one time you're not focused, that could be the moment where the number 10 gets the ball in a pocket and makes things happen. And that's your player, by the way. So the number 4 could play it out to the number 5. The number 5 could step with the ball. Maybe the number 3 goes very high, the number 11 tucks in. Then your number 10 drops very deep. And maybe you communicate to your number 10 to follow. If the number 6 rotates, that's your player. So if they do a midfield rotation, you need to stay tuned to it. Because you're in the deeper phase, you can see what's happening in front of you. So you can be communicating and telling your players, look, left shoulder, right shoulder. So this player could be here, left shoulder, look. Then number 6 drops in, maybe you follow this number 10 going, maybe your number 10 follows. You're man for man. Or your number 10 locks onto this player and you can see the oncoming number 10 making a run from deep, so that's your player. Very, very important. Off the ball, making sure you're the marshal off this zone right here. You're literally the police officer. You're dictating everything that happens here. You're putting out any fires before the fires have happened. Seeing the danger before that danger becomes a reality. That's how you can summarise your role defensively as that number 6. So that concludes today's episode on everything that you need to know about the number 6, the all-important position. I hope this really helped you. If there are any questions, drop it in the comments below or send me a message on Instagram. Coach Rafaz is my Instagram handle. I'm still working on getting my main page unblocked, but it is what it is. We still keep moving forward. What position should I do next? Drop that in as well. But until next time, peace.